You're listening to the Evil Metal Gamers podcast.
Welcome, guys, to another episode of Evil Metal Gamers podcast. Today is December 22nd, 2018, and this is episode number 59.
Hey-o!
This is Jose Roldan.
I'm Frank Berna.
And you're listening to the Evil Metal Gamers podcast, where you hear all your geek news.
All week. Every week.
Unless you're sick.
Yup.
Which is fine. It happens.
I think 102.3 was the record temperature that I had at one point.
So you got a fever too? So it was the flu.
It wasn't really the flu.
It is the flu. If you have a fever, it's not a cold. So you said you thought it was food poisoning?
Yeah.
That doesn't lead to a cough, though.
It leads to pneumonia. I think I got walking pneumonia now.
But what the fuck did you eat?
Oh.
You don't know? You know, they say vegan is the way of life.
Or death. Because I'd rather kill myself.
Any comments? Anyway, guys, you're listening to the Evil Metal Gamers podcast. If you want to get a hold of us, you can contact us at evilmetalgamers@gmail.com, or you can get a hold of us at Twitter at evilmetalgamers. We're pretty much in almost every single social media, so you should be able to find us easily. Just give us your comments, suggestions, ideas, and we will look at it and maybe bring it up in the next episode. So let's start off with things we did. I mean, you were sick, so I understand if you didn't play much, but let's start talking about what we played. I went and played Metro 2033 Redux, the last one that came out, because I forgot that game is coming out in March, I think it is.
No,
or February. So, you know, everybody keeps talking about Resident Evil and Kingdom Hearts, and they're forgetting that Metro it's a pretty big game. And I think it's Last Light Redux. And this is the sequel to the first one. And it's the remake. Not the remake. I don't even know what you call it. Like, where they just touched it up and make it better looking. And Frank, this game looks amazing. For a game that's that old, it says 2014, 4 years old, it looks pretty unbelievable. And it kills my computer. I mean, it's a huge game. I think they were giving away this game for free last month on PlayStation Network. Or it wasn't Metro 2033. I don't know. One of the games was free on PSN. I don't know if you remember.
I remember the game. I never played it. It never really caught my eye. Dude, when it comes to aesthetics, if the game really isn't good, I'm not going to get into it. I would say BioShock is the biggest one where, to me, I just didn't like the way the game looked. I didn't like the guns of the game, so I wasn't a fan.
Well, I mean,
me.
Metro is not like... I don't want to say it's like BioShock. Metro is more of a survival game. Survival horror type of game on first person, because it pretty much takes place underground, obviously, and it's after a nuclear holocaust that happened, and pretty much there's like mutants all over. It takes place in Russia, obviously, and if you go up onto the surface, you have to wear a mask at all times, and you have to constantly be looking for air filters in order to survive, and the air filters are timed, so you'll pick up an air filter and it'll tell you 2 minutes. So that's all you get is 2 minutes of walking around the surface before you really need to start looking for the next air filter which will require you to look for bodies or shit that's hidden around the surface. The other thing that is that I don't feel like bullets were very hard to find, but I mean, it is tough to find, but it's not as hard as the air filters. And when you wear the mask, you kind of sweat from the inside, so if the sweat gets on your mask, so you have to constantly be cleaning it, and you'll get blood on your mask, and it'll crack, and if it cracks, then the air filter it wears off more. Once you run out of the air filter and you're up there in the surface, you suffocate. You have very little time before you pretty much die. And you know, that to me, and that aspect of the game, it feels amazing, because when you start hearing your character suffocating, it is like you need to get your fucking mask fast before you die. You know, it's like a desperation type of thing. Yeah. And not only does that make it desperate, but then there's mutants up there, which are animals that mutated because of the nuclear holocaust, which rats that turn into giant beasts, and there's just all kinds of monsters, bugs that turn huge and stuff like that. So you don't want to also shoot like crazy at these monsters. You run out of bullets. And then when you run out of bullets in the surface, you're fucked. And then when you're in the tunnels, there's a different type of enemies. Obviously, there's still some mutants. There's still giant spiders and giant scorpions and shit like that. But then it also, it takes place in Russia. So there's like different factions that are underground, and some are Nazis. And then the other one are communists, which they call the Reds.
Okay.
And then there's the people that are regular, which is the ones that just run around, that want to be free. And that's a war too down there. The Reds they want to bring communism into the metro, and then obviously the Nazis, well, I don't have to get into what the Nazis want, but the weapons are interesting, which I still don't understand, because it takes place in 2033 and it takes place in World War III, but I guess I didn't read too much into it, or they don't explain too much if this takes place after World War II or in the 50s, because the guns look kind of old. So like there's no cell phones and shit like that, or whatever was left over. Everything looks like old, and I guess they've been there for 100 years. So I'm assuming it's after World War II, but they keep saying World War III. So maybe it took place in the 50s and stuff like that, but it's good. Graphics are beautiful. The gameplay is perfect. If you don't like survival games, do not get this game, because it can be frustrating. I've gotten lost. When you go to the surface, it's like, it's not open world, but it's huge, and there's not much that tells you. You have a little compass that tells you where to go, but you can't really investigate up there. You can't search around because you have such little time in the surface. Right. So it's like, it's a constant rush. You know, you have to be moving. You can't be stopping. And if you get lost, then you're fucked, because those few minutes that you have being up there, you can't be wasting them looking for how to get around. And when you're with monsters, they hit you, your mask cracks, and that makes it even harder too. But I finished the first one, and the first one gives you a decision that kind of supposed to affect the second game. Now, I might be wrong, but when I played the second one, it wasn't the decision I made. So I don't know why that was it, but the whole story of part 2 is based on a decision that you made in the first one. Okay. I don't want to say it without giving spoilers, but I mean, I feel like if you made the other decision, how would have they done part 2? Because like the whole story is based off that one decision that you made. So I'm thinking they made you decide in the first one, and then they thought, okay, well, this is not going to work, so we're just going to do it like he made the other decision. Okay, that makes sense. I mean, it does. Exactly. Like, so yeah, go ahead. I feel like they will have to make the whole game because it wasn't a small decision. It was like a really big decision, and they would have to remake the entire fucking game, change the entire story in order to get part 2 done. And I think that would have been too much. It's like, I'm talking about like making an entirely new game based off that other decision. So it's cool. I'm not bragging about it. I just really hope that the decisions that I made in part 2 affects the one that's coming up now. So I make sure I save that shit and make sure to put it in the cloud for Steam. So when I do get the next Metro, it carries over. Maybe it affects of what I made. But I truly recommend it. If you get a chance, play it. It's not like I don't want to say it's not like BioShock at all. It's a first person shooter. It's it's no different, but like what I want to say? It's like Resident Evil 7.
Okay.
Except it's less scary. It's more action oriented. It's not like you're gonna go there and you're gonna feel scared. I never felt scared. The only thing that scared me was suffocating. That to me was more desperation. But that was pretty much what I played. I've been still playing a lot of Diablo, a lot of Injustice. I can't believe I got back into Injustice. Like, I would have never figured.
Amazing.
I just didn't think I was gonna get back into it. I was actually playing with Michelangelo this time, and when Michelangelo loses, he falls down, and he gets little stars in the head, and then he blinks and disappears. Do you know what that means? What they're referencing that from?
No.
Did you ever play Turtles in Time?
Yes.
It's from that. A lot of people won't know that. I mean, at least the young people won't understand that. Remember, you would die and they would fall down and go, oh, shell shock. And they would get the little stars in their head. I
do remember that, yeah.
And then they blink in and out. Like, basically put a quarter in and then your character would disappear. That's what it is. It's fucking genius. Fucking genius that they added that for him. The game is...
Well, what I saw... Whenever you play Michelangelo or you beat one of the turtles, is they just go in their turtle shell. So I haven't used them though.
Yeah, I can't. I haven't seen. I don't think Raphael dies like that. I think it was only just Michelangelo. But it's so good. Michelangelo plays so good. Raphael plays so good. I haven't played Donatello because I hate Donatello. But oh my god. You have no idea how good this game is. I mean, playing it in ultra wide, fuck, man, so good. I mean, I don't know why I haven't been playing on PlayStation, but I've just been enjoying it, playing it on an ultra wide screen TV monitor, and it's just I can't stop playing it. I've never played a fighting game this long. I guess it's because I'm trying to do. I'm trying to level them up anything above 15. That's what I'm thinking. So that way, I can get, there's so many unlockables. It's insane. Like the fact that this game is not 200 gigs is ridiculous. Because, you get a helmet or a head or a hairstyle, and then you got the chest, and then you got the piece of jewelry or the emblem, and then you got the arms, and then you got the legs. It's like, what? Your character can look completely different. Like, I've seen characters that look ridiculously different from what the characters look like in the comic books. And then they have Power Girl as a costume in Supergirl. And then they have what was the other character that... Oh, shoot, I forgot. There was another character that has a different costume to make the character...
Well, Captain Cold turns into Mr. Freeze.
No shit, really?
Yeah.
I haven't seen that one. Oh, that is so awesome. Then and they play the same.
Flash has a reverse Flash.
Oh, yes, that's right. He has a reverse Flash, and he has the Flash that it looks like from the 50s. With that ridiculous helmet. So that's actually cool because it's just, it's just changing the skin, but it's a totally different character. So I like that.
I
And
will say though,
uh-huh.
they could literally just make a Batman fighting game.
They could.
They should.
Poison Ivy plays great. They should. Of course they should. But they should redo that Joker. I hate that Joker. It is so stupid.
Dude, I have so many Jokers.
Yeah, I just don't like the... God, I wish they had a skin to give me the Joker from Arkham Knight. Hell, I even like the Joker from the original Injustice too, but this one is just like... Yeah. I don't like him. I don't like the voice or anything like that. What else did I play? I played more of that Battlefield 5, which is like, it's okay. I think that was it. I also went into my Shield and I saw that they have free games because I have an Nvidia card. And they have like Tomb Raider, they had Borderlands, they had there was another game. They had Street Fighter 4, Street Fighter versus Tekken. And these are completely free games that you can play on the Shield. And it streams. And goddamn does it play good. Streaming. I mean, it's still ridiculously to pay for GeForce because you're streaming all your games. I mean, even though it doesn't lag or anything, the amount of data you're spending on playing a game is stupid, you know? You're going to go through your data real fast. Your data cap. So, I mean, I don't see the logic of why would somebody just stream the game over buying it. But, I mean, the one benefit of it is that NVIDIA's giving you the ultra settings. So you're getting the game at its highest graphical processing, and you don't even have to have a strong computer to do it. And that's pretty cool.
That could be the benefit of it, where you don't have to update your stuff all the time.
Uh-huh. But it still uses too much data. I don't find the logic. If you lose internet for something, then you're not going to play games. That's the other bad thing. I mean, it sucks. So you didn't play anything at all?
I just played Red Dead, man. Red Dead and Persona 5.
Persona 5. I played a little bit of Persona 5. But, I mean, it takes so long to get to...
It does. Persona 5.
It's not that I don't like it. I like it.
Persona 5 takes a long time to get from story to story.
Mm-hmm.
That is the truth. From one mission or from one boss to the other, there's a lot of story.
I don't mind it though.
Oh, I love it. The different things about you can level up with different characters throughout the game, which is awesome. And at the same time, it's risky because it doesn't give you every character. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I didn't even know there was more characters.
Oh, yeah, man. There's a bunch of characters. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, man, that's actually cool because I thought I was going to be stuck with only the 3 that I have.
No, I'm about to get the 5th character.
God damn, you're playing a lot.
Yeah. But it's the thing about it, it's easy to play even if it's easy to play, like I could play it one-handed with my son because there's a lot of it's story driven, a lot of it's dialogue.
Just click, yeah.
Right.
I can play that game and play Injustice at the same time.
Right.
Did you hear the Joker's going to come out in Catherine?
In Catherine, no. I know he's going to be in Smash.
No, yeah, he's also coming out in the Catherine remake that's coming out for PlayStation 4.
That's a day one for me.
What's up with that though?
What, Catherine Full Body?
Yeah, here it is. Persona's Joker lands in. I really hope this isn't a video. Joker adds another credit to his list. Persona 5's Joker lands in Catherine crossover on the game Catherine Full Body.
Well, it is one of those things that I was asking for. The idea of the Golden Palace, seeing their different games crossover. I mean, playing Persona 5, I saw a lot of Catherine in it.
It's the same artist, isn't it?
I don't know if it's the same artist, but I love it.
It's fucking identical.
I love this style.
Joker, the Speedy Phantom Thief appears to be a quick work of them. It's going to do something in the puzzles. So that should be interesting. And then, of course, he's going to be in Smash Brothers, which I finally got the full roster. I played it and I finally got all of them. And now I feel empty. No, but I mean, don't get me wrong. I take this to work and we play, and it's just like the competitive. This game brings the competitive in anybody. I have players that sit down and play that have never played Smash Brothers, and just the screaming, smack and talking shit and just bragging about how terrible you are and stuff like that is just, this game just is so fun with so many people. And we hooked up now. We figured out a way, since there's so many people playing and sometimes people are watching football on TV. So now people bring the most that I've done is 5 switches. 4 switches. 4 switches. We hooked them up together. And, so you got like 2 people watching one switch, 2 people on another switch. So you got 8 players. It's fucking nuts. It's fucking crazy. It's just... Some guy's bringing his TV, a portable monitor or something, and then he attaches it so we could play over there. It's just a fun game, but when you're by yourself, it's not that fun. The game is obviously meant to play with other people. Talk about crossovers. What's up with the Assassin's Creed is coming to For Honor? I understand it's Ubisoft. I just don't. This game is everywhere, They got the samurais, the Chinese, the Vikings, and the fucking knights all fighting in one game for the same land. I'm like, aren't these people thousands of miles away from each other? Yeah. And now you got the Assassin's Creed. I don't get it.
Well, they're not. From what I read, it's just certain characters get Assassin's Creed looks. Some of them will probably get Assassin's Creed kills.
That's it.
Yeah, and some of them will get the Assassin's Creed weapons.
It's the same thing as what was that game? Final Fantasy. Costumes and shit. Meh. So, going from good stuff to bad news, 100 Blizzard staff members have accepted buyouts. I guess they're trying to get people to leave without firing them, and they accepted it. Fucking A, Blizzard. God damn. I told you this story before, and you said Activision, but I don't think Activision has to do nothing with it. The other news about Blizzard is that they're cutting out the team that makes the looks for the World of Warcraft, the extra shit, I think costumes and the mounts and all that other shit. They're getting rid of it. Something that's been around since the beginning of World of Warcraft. they're getting rid of. What? I think that's where they were getting the extra money. Because people would pay for those mounts.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know.
Doesn't look good for Blizzard. I knew the moment they let Destiny get into the fucking system, it was going to be a problem. I do it. It's brought nothing but bad things to them. But that decision is obviously, Activision's. But I mean, then you make it worse and you put Call of Duty in it.
Yeah, I mean.
So, do you have any news?
No, man. It was been a slow week.
Well, I mean,
but a lot of it comes back down to Christmas, and just not a whole lot to talk about. I mean, Red Dead has definitely eaten up almost all of my game playing experience, and with me being sick, it's been few and far between. Aquaman came out in the theaters.
And it did good.
It's doing good. And I mean, I guess good for them.
But Spider-Man kicked its ass last week in Europe. You sound much better.
Yep. So there's, I don't know, and going back to with the Blizzard thing, it's just, it's become that corporate greed, man. It's no longer that small little company that makes an amazing game every so many years. It's the biggest it's the biggest PC company on the planet, man.
Well, it was, I think. I mean, if they keep doing this, people are like, they're getting enough of it. So, speaking of companies that are evil that I don't trust, let's talk about that IGN review on Borderlands 3.
Yeah. Not Borderlands.
Borderlands VR. Sorry. So apparently, I can't find information. It's almost like IGN paid Google to get rid of this shit. But I read it somewhere. The Borderlands 2 VR review was retracted from IGN, obviously. Apparently, this guy, which I don't know his name, gave a review on Borderlands, and he said that there were certain things on the settings that couldn't be done. So he gave it a 3 out of 10. And those things he said that couldn't be done, they could be done. So people pointed that out and they were like, you didn't even play this fucking game, did you? And, I guess they could have gotten away with it if they just didn't do anything about it. But then IGN retracted the review. When you retract it, you're pretty much saying that it's true what people were saying.
Right.
So, I mean, I say this again, and you guys, I had said this in the text. It's like, why should we trust anything that IGN says now? Before it was plagiarism, now we got this shit where they're giving reviews about playing games. I mean, you cannot sit there and say now. Before, I understand. Everybody was like, oh, you can't judge the company because of one's mistake. But now it happens again, and you're going to tell me that we should listen to this company that obviously is mismanaging the way they're running things. And I've always had a suspicion about them. And then you got this shit happening. It's obviously, I mean, who do we blame? Do we blame the editor? Or do we blame IGN itself, who's obviously not even, I mean, they're like, just, it's like the teacher that doesn't care. And, they turn in projects and they just fucking write an A on it or a B without actually reading it. That's pretty much what it is. It's like, they don't care until, the readers say something and then they freak out.
Right.
But I mean, how tainted are they?
I mean,
They're so
clearly
tainted.
not that tainted. Otherwise, but I mean, the more that this kind of stuff happens, the more credibility you lose.
I mean, bro, he gave it a 3 out of 10, and he didn't play it. Bro, you pretty much killed the game. When you give a review a 3 out of 10, you're destroying the game. You know, you're telling everybody the game sucks.
Yeah.
Which maybe the game does suck, but how could you say it sucks without playing it? What if it's
I do that
awesome?
all the time. I do that all the time, though.
Okay, you do it all the time, but you say you haven't played it. See how it's different?
Yeah.
You're not saying, oh, I played it and I know it sucks. And you didn't. That's two different things. You're lying. Ay, ay, ay. IGN. We will see. Nice. I know some people are like, no, they can't do no wrong.
I don't think there's anybody out there that really supports them to that degree.
I don't think so. Then you got this idiot Soldier Boy who's doing his game system. And, I mean, did you know what the system was? I don't know. Did you hear anything about what the system that they're making? That he's making?
Well, from what I heard, it was just a bunch of emulators.
So, isn't an emulator, like, illegal? I'm pretty sure it is. Because you do an emulator, it's obviously for your own free personal time. If you put an emulator on your computer, okay, I understand. But if you're going to make an emulator and then sell it, isn't that illegal?
Yeah, I think so.
And then he just, did it have Nintendo games in it?
I don't know what games it had on it.
Because he's fucking nuts if he goes off a Soldier Boy says he's not scared of Nintendo. You should be scared about Nintendo. Because if there's one company you don't want to fuck with, it's Nintendo. They fucking... I mean, how tough is Nintendo? I'll tell you how tough Nintendo is. If you make a video of their games on YouTube, the money goes to them. And then they throw you a couple of bones. That's how strict Nintendo is with their shit. So if somebody like Ninja, this is on YouTube. Obviously, I don't know how Twitch works, but if somebody like Ninja, who's super famous, played any Nintendo game on YouTube, all that money goes to Nintendo. And Ninja gets like $1 or $2 on the side. And speaking of that asshole, I was just today at Five Below, and they have posters up. Bro, they have a poster of Ninja.
What the hell's Five Below?
It's a store, like a dollar store, but for $5. And they had posters for sale of Ninja. Oh my God. What is going on? Where are we? Is it the fucking Twilight Zone?
Dude.
I've never, I've been seeing Twitch for years now. I've never seen posters of a Twitch streamer. Never have I ever seen anything like that. So people are buying this shit and putting them in their doors. The only person I could think of that would put a poster on his ceiling while sleeping and looking at it would be George. That's it. Other than that, I don't know anybody who could say, oh, Ninja's awesome and I love him. You know, I know people who say he's awesome player and everything, but I can't picture somebody going out of their way to buying a poster, bro. A poster? Are you nuts? Just doesn't make any sense.
I don't know, man.
Okay, here's an interesting article that I'm reading here, changing the subject. Death Stranding will be a transformative online experience.
I kind of saw Death Stranding was going to have online capabilities.
Okay.
I just wasn't sure how.
Nobody knows how.
Hideo's big into that, though. I mean, I want to say it started with Peace Walker that had the online capability where you could trade characters and soldiers and things to that degree. You could play online with friends.
Couldn't it track, like, if somebody was around that had the game, right?
Something like that.
On
like
the
there
PSP?
there was something to that degree that he was big into.
Well, the person who tweeted this was F. Paul Wilson, the director, I guess. I mean, I'm not sure what he directed. I think I don't know what he says. During the meeting between the two, the pair naturally discussed Kojima's newest and upcoming game. F. Paul Wilson, an award-winning science fiction and horror author. Sorry. I don't know who this guy is. He looks ancient. He looks like he's 120, and he's got his arm around Kojima, and it just looks like it's an old guy who found himself a young lad. it's a weird picture. But I mean, obviously Kojima must like him if it's a science fiction author, you know. Let me see IMDb. This guy. I doubt it. If he's an author, he probably didn't do movies, right?
Correct.
His name is F. Paul Wilson. F. Paul Wilson. Nope, nothing comes up. No idea who the hell that is. Writer. Here it is. F. Paul Wilson. He's a writer. He wrote, I don't know any of this shit. The Keep. Midnight Mass. I don't know any of this. This is something obviously only Kojima knows. He's a weirdo. Where does he find these people?
You guys as good as mine, man.
Kojima, you're 1,000 years above us.
He truly is.
Oh, don't forget that other news. Steam has the Christmas sales. Now that you have a PC. Some crazy sales. So you can buy yourself some games for really cheap. And did you see this Last of Us Part 2 dynamic theme for PlayStation?
The burning car?
It's so funny because it's Christmas. So everybody has a fireplace running, you know, on the TV.
Yeah.
And it's like they had a burning car.
It's ridiculously detailed, too.
Is it? I got to download. It's not free, though, right?
I think it's free.
Oh, did you see the dynamic thing they gave you for free of the PlayStation holiday thing or something? Did you see that? The theories that came out of that?
No.
Apparently, I can't find the topic, but apparently it said like holidays, right? And it shows the S.
Oh, yes. That it's the S is a 5.
Is a 5. And it clearly looks like a 5 because the holidays, I think it was. I might be wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong. But holidays is a regular S, but the PlayStation and the letter S looks like a fucking 5.
Yep.
So maybe holidays 2019?
I don't know, man.
You don't know. You don't want to know. I know you're not looking forward for that, but
it is what it is.
It is what it is. That's exactly what I was gonna say. There's nothing you can do about it, but it's happening. It's coming.
Yeah. No,
bro. God, I just want them to put if they put in an Nvidia card in the PlayStation, it would be the greatest thing ever. Just throw that fucking AMD shit to the side and get yourself a nice Nvidia card in there, and show me. Give me a 1060. If they say anything from 1050 to 1060, how much does your computer cost?
600.
So I mean, I mean, there could be. I might be wrong, but there could be a chance that the PlayStation 5 might be $400 to $500. Do you feel that's too expensive, especially when the PlayStation 3 came out for $600?
I don't know, man.
I don't think it's as expensive as it used to be. $600 15 years ago, 15 was a lot of money.
Yeah.
Now I'm not saying that $600 is not a lot of money now, but I think it's more achievable than it was back then. But if they go for $500 like the Xbox One X, I think they'll be fine. But they have to put UHD. You got to put Blu-ray, 4K Blu-ray playable. They have to add that in there. They have to.
They didn't put it in there just because
they were trying to keep it cheap.
To save money. And I'm not buying any 4K Blu-ray DVDs.
You will not buy that. You're right. Which I totally understand. But a lot of people do. A lot of people.
I couldn't tell you the last time I bought a DVD was.
Well, you download them illegally.
Even still, like, from there, I don't know, man. There's just so much streaming nowadays.
There is. But
a lot of times I've already seen it in, I already saw it in the theaters. Like I've come to see now, like, as I've gotten older, I really don't go back to watch older films that I've already seen.
Which is fine. I understand, but there's a lot of people who will watch them. And there's a lot of people no matter what, the best possible version of a movie will always be the Blu-ray. Not the Blu-ray, but the disc itself. It's just always going to look better than streaming. Always. And if you can't see it, then, not you specifically, but if the listener can't see it, then you got to be batshit crazy. Because there is a huge difference between a disc and a stream. Huge. You can just tell the clarity, the detail on a Blu-ray. And I kind of wish that games was like that too. Which I think it was like that at one point. You put the game on, you play the game off the disc. That's where the game would always run good. But now you put the disc and it downloads it into the system. And it's still good because you're running it off the system itself. So, but streaming, we're not there yet. You know, I like my NVIDIA Shield, but I could tell you there's a difference of me sitting in front of my computer playing it over streaming it. There's a little bit of a blurriness, a little bit of lag. I don't know. I kind of hope they do that so people can... It worked for them for the PlayStation 3, though. You don't think so?
For what?
By adding the Blu-ray player, it helped the PlayStation 3 on sales.
Yeah, no. It didn't help it initially.
It's true. I mean... Wouldn't those discs? See, here we go again with the aspect that the disc now is just to put it into the system. But if they could put games on a 4K Blu-ray disc, would it help a game? Would you be able to put more? But if it's going to be just to put the disc in and download it into your system, then forget about 4K Blu-ray. Who the fuck cares? Yeah. But I feel that they need to do something. They need to up that game. I don't want to see teraflops. What is it? What is it the Xbox says?
6 teraflops.
6 teraflops. But wait, we added Pop-Tarts too. I don't care about that. I care about give me a good graphics card and a good CPU. That's all I care about. Don't give me the fucking teraflops and shit. Just give me something good. Give it to me. I think if PlayStation can just show me that it's amazing, I'm still going to get it. You know that, right? No matter what, I'm going to get a PlayStation 5. Especially if you tell me that Last of Us is going to be released on day one. I mean, Last of Us 2 comes out on day one. They don't have to put shit on the PlayStation 5. If it comes out with Last of Us 2, it could have a fucking hamster running on a wheel inside the fucking PlayStation 5 and people will buy it. Because if you put a good day one game, it'll sell. Now, you showed me that normally games don't come out. Like, you showed me, I think, when PlayStation 4 came out, it didn't have shit. Remember? You showed us but if they do what Nintendo does, when Nintendo released it with Legend of Zelda, and if you're gonna, I mean, if anything, the reason Switch sold so well was because that was day one game. If you could put Last of Us, I don't think Death Stranding's asking too much, but Last of Us, what was the other game? Fuck, if you could put a Red Dead the way that they did with Grand Theft Auto, if they could do a Red Dead like a better version for PlayStation 5 on release day, I think people will get it too. But you can't give me a knack. Don't give me a knack.
But that's the thing. Like, they're always released with some kind of shit ass game, man.
It's true. PlayStation does that. So, but obviously, the games that they've announced is not coming out for PlayStation 4. No way Last of Us is coming out for PlayStation 4. I don't think so at all. So, but I mean, don't be announcing don't be announcing Last of Us if it's gonna come out 2 years after PlayStation 5 comes out.
No, I feel like The Last of Us is approaching those final stages.
I really hope it comes out on day one. I don't think it's going to come out for PlayStation 4. It looks too crazy. If it comes out for PlayStation 5, I'd be shocked. I can't wait. Can't wait for Resident Evil.
It really is going to be. I mean, I love the first one. I double platinum that game, and I damn near got 100% in it. So
I mean, I just don't. For what I saw in that video, it doesn't look like it's achievable. I mean, I might be wrong. Maybe Naughty Dog will do it, but I mean, that looked like too lifelike and too. A lot is going on that trailer. Yeah, a lot. Which I don't even think the PlayStation 4 could do it. I think that would catch fire. But whatever. I mean, if they think they could do it, that's cool. I'm not gonna complain. There's another PlayStation game that might come out for PlayStation 5. I can't remember what it was.
Well, no, a lot of stuff's coming out next month. I mean, when you look at the beginning of the year, next year, quarter one, it seems like every month there's at least one day one. And that's going to be on all systems. I mean, it's not just exclusive to the PlayStation. Everything's going to have some sort of really good game. Or, you have an Xbox and you can play Crackdown.
Bum, 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 bum.
And it just looks bad. Like, they recently showed gameplay of what it's going to be. And it's...
They don't care.
I can't say that it's not that it's going to be horrible. It's just not good.
Well, 2 wasn't good at all, I heard. That's what I heard. And they keep justifying the Game Pass. People keep justifying the Game Pass, but I mean, you'll get every new Xbox game that comes out once every 3 years.
Okay.
What's up with that? You can't justify the Game Pass if you're not going to release any games, but
no,
whatever.
You're right.
Pay $10 and you don't get shit. No, they don't get in Xbox. You do get it's the Xbox on PC. You do get some of the old games from the original Xbox 360. Anywho, is there anything else you want to talk about before we?
No, it just next month is gonna not next month. Next week is the 2018 Evil Metal Gamers Game of the Year.
Okay. I think we're going to both agree on what it is.
Yeah.
We're going to do, I want to talk about like all the games. Everything. We'll write a little list of everything that's coming out, that came out, and then we'll pick. I think that's a good discussion for next week.
Okay.
I should be able to take a long episode of all the games. And then we have to give a shit award. Can't wait, because I have one in mind, but I won't talk about it.
Oh, I got plenty of shit awards.
And you can't give it to Assassin's Creed. So
yeah, I can't, and I will.
Okay, we'll leave that for next week. Okay, guys. Of course, you start coughing now. Okay, guys, that's the end of the show. Thank you for listening. If you guys want to get a hold of us again, you can email us at evilmetalgamers@gmail.com. If you want to get a hold of us through Twitter, you can check us out at evilmetalgamers at Twitter, which Frank will either answer back or insult you, whatever it is. Be ready, because he was the one who's going to answer you back. We're also on all the other social medias, so pretty much just look up Evil Metal Gamers and you should be able to find us. Thank you so much, guys, and take care.
Love, peace, and shitty games.